Well, hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm back. I hope you guys are doing wonderful. I've got an interesting video for you today. I have another offering from Olight. This is the Warrior Mini version 2. Next level of security, and we're going to take a look at the side of the package. You can see the quality 5-year warranty promise that Olight has, and then there's also their QR code there. And then if we look at the other end of the packaging, you can see that the applications that this light is popular for would be hiking or camping, natural disasters, use it around the house, or in self-defense or tactical type operations. So very cool. Now looking at the back of the packaging, you can see there is some information. Please feel free to pause your screen if you want to read that information. Let's move forward and talk about the features of the light. Again, feel free to use that pause button. And then moving forward, once again, there are the specifications of the light. This gives us all the information that we need to know as far as run times and weights and dimensions of the light. So fantastic. And then right here we can see what's included in this package. So without further ado, let's go ahead and open up this package. Now when you pull this box open, you see there's a little tab there that tells us to slide open. So we're going to pull this out just like a drawer. There's nothing left in the box. And right here it gives us the README card. So the first portion of the README card is basically talking about taking out the insulation film. The second part talks about charging the light, and the third portion talks about the proximity sensor. This light has a smart proximity sensor on it. So we'll take that README card off, and then right here, I like this touch. Thank you for being a part of our Olight family. Your support is why we do this. Enjoy, Olight team. I think that's such a nice touch that they put that on their lights. The next thing that you'll see here is the owner's manual. So we'll set that aside. And right here, we are taking a look at the charging cable. What's cool about this charging cable is it's the smart one. It's the one that chooses automatically whether the charging is going to be at 1 amp, 1.5 amp, or 2 amps. So very cool that they include that MCC3 with this light. Now right here, we're going to take a look at this new lanyard, and I'm very, very excited about this. The lanyards, I've never had a problem with the lanyards the Olight did, but when they released this lanyard, I got super excited. So this is a silicone lanyard, got a little bit of stretch to it. I really like this a lot. I think this is a very, very promising upgrade. The previous lanyards, I never had a problem with them, but anytime I would get around water, it seemed like they soaked water in. With this one being silicone, we're not going to have that problem. If we get on a kayak or some water gets splashed on the lanyard, it's not going to hold that water in it. So very, very good addition that Olight did in upgrading their lanyard. Now the next thing is the O-beaner. Let's go ahead and open that up and take a look. And right here on the bottom you can see the Olight logo, and on the top it says "Not for climbing." Wah, wah, wah. Sorry folks, you can't climb on this carabiner. You can't use it for a belay ring. You can't do things like that with it. But I'll show you what that's for. That's for the tactical operation of the light. So let's go ahead and flip this over and let's take a look at the brand new Warrior Mini 2. I'm very excited about this light. Boy, that is a beautiful light. Look at the head is a little bit bigger, and you notice that the pocket clip that clips onto the body of the light is a little wider than the previous generations. And if you look at the length of the pocket clip here, it's a little bit longer. I would say about 1/2 inch longer than previous generations. The body of the light, the battery tube, is identical to the Warrior Mini with an exception that they've made here. They made this cutout here so that you can change the orientation of the pocket clip if you choose to. And they also have this little split ring on here. We can put our carabiner on there. So now you can put your finger through there and carry the light in a tactical fashion. So if you wanted to do something hands-free, you're not going to lose the light in the process. There's a look at the magnetic tail cap switch. Very nice. The button, I like how the head has that little design on it. And then if you look at the bezel ring, it's just a little bit of texture to it. Nothing too significant, but it gives you like a little raised area there. And they went back to a glass lens. I am very excited about that. I love that they went back to the glass lens. So very nice, very good change in my opinion. And on the top of the light there, you see that black proximity sensor. That's the smart proximity sensor. So in the event that the light is on a bright setting, and if you get too close to something, the light will automatically dim. And if the obstruction does not get out of the way within 1 minute, the light will automatically turn off. So very cool that they added that to this light. Now if we grab this and we pull, you'll see that that tactical ring comes off, and we can pull off the pocket clip and flip the light around and change the orientation of the pocket clip. So very cool. We can carry it tail cap switch up or bezel down, and if you notice, it gives us a very nice deep carry option. So it's not shallow, you don't have this big portion of the flashlight hanging out. Very nice option that they did there. Nice upgrade. I really like that change. Now I did notice something that I did not like. It's a minor thing, but hopefully Olight's watching this video and they'll be able to take notice of this. Now if you look at the cutout section here where the pocket clip goes, when you put this in that cutout section, it terminates, okay, on both ends, but there's still room behind that clip there. I don't know why a person would want the O-beaner up here, but just in case there's someone out there that wants that, if they could cut this groove just a little bit deeper, it would let this seat fully. Let's take off the battery tube here, and I want to see this battery. We have to take that insulation film out as well, otherwise the light will never work. This is a lithium-ion 18650 proprietary battery, 3500 milliamp hour. High discharge current, operates at 3.6 volts. There is the positive end of the battery and the negative end of the battery. And there's a closer look at the head portion of the flashlight. And there's a view down inside the battery tube. You can see that the construction is very good. So very nice. So when you put the battery in, you're going to put the negative down towards the bottom of the battery tube and thread this on. The operation of this light is identical to the Warrior Mini, so I'm not going to go into depth too much on that. We're just going to push and then the light turns on. You have that green power level indicator. So very cool. Green is telling us that we're above 60%. If our battery drops below 60%, but more than 10%, it will turn orange. And then if it turns red, we're between 5 and 10%. And then if it's flashing red, we are below 5%. If we double press, we'll get to turbo. Now if I get close, you notice it dimmed. And then when I back off, it gets bright. And it dims, it gets bright. That's that smart proximity sensor. Now you see if I put that down, you can barely see the light trickling through. If I wait for 1 minute, that light will automatically turn off. Now let me talk about the modes of operation while I'm waiting for that to turn off. It has a moonlight mode of 1 lumen that'll last 45 days. It has low, which is 15 lumens, will give you 19 meters of throw. And on low, it'll last 164 hours or 6.83 days. That's fantastic. And then you have medium, which is 120 lumens, 57 meters of throw, and that'll last for 19 hours. Then we bump up to high, 500 lumens, 117 meters of throw, and that will last about 3.6 hours, and then it'll step down for an additional 55 minutes. You can see there that the light just turned off. That proximity did its job. And then of course we have a turbo of 1750 lumens with 220 meters of throw. That'll last about 4 minutes, and then it'll step down to prevent the overheating, and then it'll last an additional 3.43 hours, and then it steps down again for an additional 11 minutes. Now the light is IPX8 waterproof, it's impact resistant down to 1.5 meters, and if we go back to turbo, again that's 1750 lumens or 12,300 candela. So fantastic. It does have a lockout mode, so if you push and hold, you'll see the moonlight mode keep holding, and then moonlight mode goes off. Now when you push the button, you'll see that red indicator illuminating. It's telling us that the light is in lockout mode. Now for us to turn the light back on to normal operation, we're just going to push and hold until we see moonlight mode again. So this light is fantastic. It does have a strobe. If you triple press, you'll get a strobe. Very nice. And then of course, just like the original Warrior Mini, you have the telcap switch options. So you can half press in standard mode and it goes to medium. And then if you deep press, it goes to turbo. And then you can do it in a momentary fashion, or you can lock it on like I did just now. So you have two ways of operating that telcap switch, momentary or constant on. And then you want to switch to tactical mode, then you'll just deep press, go to turbo, and then hit the side switch. Once you're in tactical mode, half press will give you turbo or full brightness, and deep press will give you strobe. So very, very nice. I really like this light. I think it's going to do great things. And if you compare it to the Warrior Mini was fantastic. Great light. I love the pattern of the beam, but let me give you just a quick side-by-side comparison of the beams. The Warrior Mini on the left and the Warrior Mini 2 on the right. There's the Warrior Mini 2 on the right and the Warrior Mini on the left. You can see that the Warrior Mini 2 is a lot tighter of a hot spot. Now when you look at the pocket clip, like I mentioned a second ago, it's a little bit longer than the original Warrior Mini. And the connection point where it makes the connection to the flashlight body is a little bit wider. You see that right there where my thumb is? This portion right here is wider. So I really like that change. And I love that they made a longer pocket clip, and I like that they went away from the TIR optic lens back to glass. I never had a problem with the TIR optic lens. In fact, I liked it, but I do like the glass better. And the addition of the proximity sensor makes it very nice. Let's go low, medium, high. Let's go turbo, turbo. And then we get closer. Look, the one on the right, it dims automatically. And then when you back away, it gets bright again. That's that proximity sensor. The original Warrior Mini didn't do that, so if you drop the light, they're both going to stay on. This one will die in 1 minute because of that proximity, but this one would sit there and burn a hole through whatever it's stuck on. So it had no way. In fact, you can see smoke and stuff coming off of that light. It has no way of turning itself off. So it was a good change that they made by putting that proximity sensor on this new one. I really like that. The old one didn't do nothing. It would just sit there and burn. The new one dims. So that's a big change. Let me get this camera a little closer here for a second, and we'll take a look at that. You can smell it. Look at that. Look at that. It started to burn. Look at that. Look at that. That's how hot that lens is off that Warrior Mini. The original. That is crazy. It was actually burning the shema. So you could probably use this light to make fire if you had to. That's crazy. Where this one, it didn't do nothing. See that? It didn't harm anything because it has that proximity sensor. That is just crazy. Okay, let's go ahead and test the IPX8 waterproofness of this light. Let's drop it down in there, and you can see that that light does a good job in the water. It does say in the owner's manual that if you get this tail cap switch around salt water, that the light might not work as well. So let's go ahead and cycle through the modes. We're going to push and hold, low, medium, high, low, medium, high. Let's double press. There is that turbo. Check the proximity. There it works. Triple press for strobe. There we go. We got the strobe. Single press takes the strobe off. Let's take a look and see what moonlight mode looks like. So it looks like we're working. I did notice something. If we're in turbo and the proximity sensor is dimmed on the light, it doesn't appear to let us go to strobe. Look at that. We have to get away from the proximity, get the light back up to where it's going to be bright, and then it lets us go to strobe. That's pretty crazy, but as you can see, this light clearly passes the IPX8 waterproof testing with flying colors. I'm impressed. Okay, right now we are looking at moonlight mode. This is 1 lumen for 45 days. So if you have a splinter, or you need to look in a bag, or you just don't want to wake everybody up, that is a lot of light for a moonlight mode. I'm looking down at the floor, looking off in the distance, and you can see quite a bit, even though the camera's not picking it up. That they've came a long way with the moonlight mode on these lights. Let's go ahead and bump it up to low. Low does a really good job. That's 15 lumens for 6.83 days. Again, that gives you 19 meters of throw. Bumping it up to medium, that's 120 lumens. You can see the nice tight hot spot. 57 meters of throw, and it'll last for 19 hours on this setting. That's a good setting. Bump it up to high, 500 lumens for 117 meters of throw. And it'll stay on this setting for about 3.6 hours. And then it drops down to prevent overheating. And it'll last for 55 additional minutes after step down. And then of course, let's double press. Let's get to that turbo, 1750 lumens. That's a lot of power to get out of a single 18650 battery. 220 meters of throw. That is a fantastic beam pattern. You'll get this turbo for 4 minutes. And then again, it'll step down to prevent the overheating. And then it'll run for an additional 3 hours and 43 minutes. And then it'll step down a second time and last an additional 11 minutes. Now let's go ahead and triple press and get some strobe going on. Strobe is 1750 lumens. It does not specify what the runtime is. From strobe, a single press turns the light off. A single press turns it back to high. And then we can cycle through the modes again, low, medium, and high. So that's fantastic. I love the way this light operates. I think they did a lot of good things with it. Hope you enjoyed those night shots. So you're probably wondering what my final thoughts are on this light. I think that they've made a good light better. It seems like that's what they keep doing. They'll have something good and then they'll make it a little bit better. The current retail price of this light is around $90. If you can catch it on a flash sale, you can pick it up currently for $67.46. That's only going to be the 17th and the 18th of June 2021. So if you're watching this video not around that date, expect to pay about $90 for this light. At the time of it being released, it comes out in black or desert tan, and then they also have a mountain sky version as well, but that one's a limited edition run. That's a $95 light normally, and if you can catch it on the sale, you can get that mountain sky for $71.21. Again, if you're watching this video a year later, those prices may vary, so don't quote me on the prices. But with all that being said, folks, I want to say thank you for stopping by and checking out this video of the brand new Warrior Mini 2. I'll post links in the description box down below where you can find this light. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you have a beautiful day. Feel free to leave comments down below. Like this video, share this video, and until next time, we'll talk at you then. Bye for now.